Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am VC Pramod with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says his government's only agenda is inclusive and all-round development in making new India. Mr. Modi lays foundation stone for 13 urban infrastructure projects worth over 2,100 crore rupees in Rajasthan. Law Commission holding consultations with political parties on feasibility of simultaneous Lok Sabha and State Assembly polls. Mixed response from political parties. President Ramnath Kovind pitches for quality education in the country. National Testing Agency to conduct NEET and JEE mains examinations twice and NET once in a year. US Secretary of State describes denuclearization talks with North Korea as positive, but Pyongyang says US attitude at the talks regrettable. At Wimbledon, Rafael Nadal and Juan Del Potro progressed to pre-quarter final of the men's singles. Women's top seed Simona Halep bows out. In FIFA World Cup, the quarter-final between England and Sweden now in progress. Russia meet Croatia later tonight in the final quarter-final fixture. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said his government's aim is inclusive and all-round development. Interacting with a gathering of beneficiaries of the flagship schemes of the centre and Rajasthan government in Jaipur today, Mr. Modi said development is the only agenda of his government. He said poor, Dalits, exploited, victims, deprived, tribal, farmers and women are at the centre of flagship schemes launched by the central government. Mr. Modi said his government is working with the motto of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas to spread development across India.
बीते 4 वर्षों में जो भी कार्यक्रम बने हैं उनके केंद्र में हमारा गरीब, शोषित, पीड़ित, वंचित, दलित, आदिवासी, हमारा किसान, हमारी माताएं बहनें देश के केंद्र बिंदु में। सरकार 2022 तक जब आजादी के 75 साल होंगे, किसान की आय 2 गुना करने के लक्ष्य के साथ काम कर रही है।
The Prime Minister said that in order to make every citizen's life easy and safe, the government has brought various schemes. He said his government will continue its fight against corruption. Mr. Modi said his government's efforts are aimed at building a new India. Mr. Modi said more than 5 crore people have been pulled out of poverty in the last 2 years.
दुनिया की एक नामी संस्था की एक रिपोर्ट आई है। इसमें कहा गया है कि भारत में बीते 2 वर्षों में लगभग 5 करोड़ गरीब के कुचक्र से बाहर निकल गए हैं। गरीबी से मुक्ति के मार्ग पर जो देश अग्रसर हुआ है, उसका कारण है साफ नियत, सही विकास।
He said the government has fulfilled its promise of increasing the minimum support price of farm produce by 1.5 times. Mr. Modi said centre is having talks with state governments for effective management of crop purchase. He said that so far 14.5 crore farmers have received soil health card across India, while in Rajasthan over 90 lakh farmers have received the soil health card. He said the central government and Rajasthan government are working together for the progress of the state. The Prime Minister said initiatives like Mudra and Ujjwala are benefiting the people of Rajasthan. He said under the Ujjwala Yojana, more than 33 lakh mothers and sisters were given gas connection for free in the state. The Prime Minister praised the Rajasthan government and said development works never get stuck in the state. Launching an attack on the Congress, Prime Minister said the party is now being called a bailgadi as several of its leaders are out on bail.
4 साल पहले की कौन सी स्थितियां थी, किन परिस्थितियों में वसुंधरा जी को कारोबार संभालना पड़ा, पिछली सरकार राजस्थान में कैसे हाल छोड़ के गई थी, उन बातों को कभी भूलना मत। तब जाकर के पता चलेगा कि आज काम कैसे हो रहा है। आज जो काम हो रहे हैं वो पहले भी हो सकते, लेकिन पहले की जो सरकारें रही तो उन्होंने किस नियत से काम किया, उससे आप भली भांति परिचित।
Prime Minister was shown an audio-visual presentation on the experiences of beneficiaries of different flagship schemes. One of the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Jan Awas Yojana, Kailash of Trinadi village of Ganganagar district, said that due to this scheme only, he was able to build his own home.
मेरा नाम कुलवंत सिंह है जी। मैं गंगानगर जिले के तहसील गरसाना और गांव में मेरा 3 डीडी वहाँ का रहने वाला हूँ। मेरे को प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना में लाभ मिला है। मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था भी मेरा मकान बन जाएगा और इन्होंने जो लाभ दिया उसमें मैंने मकान बना लिया। अच्छा परिवार के साथ रह रहा हूँ। जिसी को पैसा मिल रहा है पूरा मिल रहा है, सुविधा के अनुसार मिल रहा है।
Earlier, the Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone for 13 urban infrastructure projects worth over 2,100 crore rupees. These are elevated road projects in Ajmer, water supply and sewerage projects in Ajmer, Bhilwara, Bikaner, Hanumangarh, Sikar and Mount Abu, and different projects under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in Bundi, Bikaner and Ajmer districts. The Law Commission today began two-day consultation in New Delhi with all the national and recognized state political parties to discuss the feasibility of conducting simultaneous polls to Lok Sabha and state assemblies. There was mixed response from parties who attended the consultations. Shiromani Akali Dal leader Naresh Gujral said, "One nation, one election is in the nation's interest." He added that elections have become expensive and government expenditure on elections cost huge amount of money, which is a wasteful expenditure. BJP spokesperson Sudesh Verma said it is a welcome proposal.
The proposal is very good. This is going to help the country. If any party has a reservation as to how it will happen, what are the intricacies, how the technicalities will be resolved, the Law Commission is there to tell them how it can be done. And all the parties can sit together and decide to find out ways.
However, Trinamool Congress leader Kalyan Banerjee said his party is against simultaneous elections as it is impractical and not feasible. He said the concept is contrary to the constitution.
People will elect a government for a period of 5 years. Now, let's assume that all central and all states are holding an election at a simultaneous. Now, 2019 में जो गवर्नमेंट आएगा सेंट्रल में, if the coalition गवर्नमेंट है, तो उनको जो मेजोरिटी चला जाएगा, उनको चला जाना होगा. अगर 2020 में से चला जाएगा, तो 2020 में होल स्टेट का इलेक्शन होगा. साइमल्टेनियस, लेट्स टेक ए स्टेट. स्टेट में एक 2019 में कोई स्टेट में कोalition गवर्नमेंट आया एंड एक स्टेट मेजोरिटी लूज कर गया 2020 में, तो होल कंट्री विल हैव टू गो टू इलेक्शन. दिस इज नॉट फीजिबल.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has on several occasions stressed the need to hold simultaneous polls to help save time and money and allow political parties to pay more attention to governance. The Law Commission had written to the 7 recognized national parties and 59 state parties to participate in the meeting. In its draft, the law panel has recommended several amendments to the Constitution and the Representation of People's Act 1950 to facilitate and sustain the simultaneous polls. President Ramnath Kovind today pitched for quality education in the country and exhorted young students to try and give back to society. He was addressing the 30th annual convocation of the Goa University at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium in Bambolim near Panaji this afternoon. Mr. Kovind said access to higher education is still a privilege and said expanding quantity in education should be complemented by quality. He especially mentioned the academic excellence of girl students as an outstanding achievement.
Traveling across the country, I have been struck by the tenacity and academic outcomes of our girl students. This is a game changer for our society, and Goa's promotion of girls' education is a model for other states. Education is empowerment. It not only helps us to know our world better, but also enables us to think of ways of changing the world for the better.
Later, the President was given a civic reception by the Goa government at the CSIR National Institute of Oceanography, Dona Paula near Panaji this evening. Goa Governor Mridula Sinha and Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar welcomed the President on his first visit to the state. Newly formed National Testing Agency NTA will now conduct national level examinations including NET, NEET and JEE Mains. These exams are currently organized by the Central Board of Secondary Education. National Eligibility Test, NET, will be conducted only in December and Joint Entrance Examination JEE Mains twice a year in January and April, and National Eligibility Entrance Test NEET in February and May. Announcing this in New Delhi today, Human Resource Development Minister Prakash Javadekar said students can appear both the times in NEET and the best of the two scores will be taken in account for admission.
NET दिसंबर में होगी नेट परीक्षा, जेईई मेंस अब 2 बार होगी. छात्रों की मांग थी है कि कि परीक्षा एक ही बार होती है, उस दिन कोई बीमार हुआ, कुछ हुआ तो दूसरा मौका नहीं मिलता, एक साल जाता है। अब नहीं जाएगा, अब जनवरी में भी होगी और अप्रैल में भी होगी। छात्र दोनों परीक्षाएं दे सकता है या एक दे सकता है, जो उसका स्कोर होगा बेस्ट वो उसका पकड़ा जाएगा। और नीट की परीक्षा भी फरवरी और मई में होगी।
The HRD minister said all the exams will be computer-based and held over a span of 4 to 5 days. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. In Jammu and Kashmir, a Central Reserve Police Force CRPF Jawan was injured in a grenade attack by unidentified terrorists in Hyderpura area of Srinagar city this afternoon. Security forces said that a hand grenade was lobbed at a CRPF party near a flyover in Hyderpura, leaving the CRPF Jawan injured. They said forces have initiated manhunt to nab the attackers. Earlier in the day, 3 civilians were killed during clashes between protesters and security forces in Havura Redwani area of Kulgam district. Governor N.N. Vohra has expressed deep anguish on the loss of civilian lives. BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav today rejected reports that his party is working to form a government in Jammu and Kashmir with rebel PDP MLAs. In a tweet, he said the BJP is for continuing with governor's rule in the state in the interest of peace, governance and development. His comments came after former State Chief Minister and National Conference leader Omar Abdullah tweeted a news report claiming that a big chunk of PDP MLAs are in touch with the BJP High Command and the party is looking to form the government. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said that 2 days of talks with his North Korean counterpart on dismantling Pyongyang's nuclear arsenal had been very productive. Briefing reporters before flying to Tokyo, Mr. Pompeo said today that progress has been made on almost all of the central issues, including on setting a timeline for its denuclearization, but work remains to be done. Meanwhile, North Korea's official KCNA news agency said the result of talks with the delegation headed by U.S. Secretary of State was troubling, accusing it of insisting on complete, verifiable and irreversible denuclearization. South Korea's Yonhap news agency, quoting North Foreign Ministry, said U.S. attitude and positions at the high-level talks were regrettable. Back home, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana is the flagship scheme of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The objective of this scheme is to enable a large number of young people to take up industry-relevant skill training in order to secure a better livelihood. The Assam government has achieved success in providing skill development training to the youths under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. At the Wimbledon Tennis Championships, Spain's Rafael Nadal and Argentina's Juan Martín del Potro have entered the pre-quarterfinals of the men's singles. In London today, world number 1 Nadal defeated Alex Minatur of Australia in straight sets 6-1, 6-2, 6-0, while del Potro also disposed of his opponent Benoit Paire of France in straight sets 6-4, 7-6, 6-3. Meanwhile, top seed and current world number 1 Simona Halep bowed out of the women's singles competition. In the FIFA World Cup, the penultimate quarter-final match between England and Sweden is now underway at the Samara Arena in Russia. When reports last came in, England were holding a comfortable lead of 2-0. In the fourth and last quarter-final fixture later tonight, hosts Russia will meet Croatia at the Fisht Stadium in Sochi at 11:30 p.m. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra says his government's only agenda is inclusive and all-round development in making new India. Mr. Modi lays foundation stone for 13 urban infrastructure projects worth over 2,100 crore rupees in Rajasthan. Law Commission holding consultations with political parties on feasibility of simultaneous Lok Sabha and State Assembly polls. Mixed response from political parties. President Ramnath Kovind pitches for quality education in the country. National Testing Agency to conduct NEET and JEE mains examinations twice and NET once in a year. U.S. Secretary of State describes denuclearization talks with North Korea as positive, but Pyongyang says U.S. attitude at the talks regrettable. At Wimbledon, Rafael Nadal and Juan del Potro progress to pre-quarterfinals of men's singles. Women's top seed Simona Halep bows out. In FIFA World Cup, the quarterfinal between England and Sweden now in progress. Russia meet Croatia later tonight in the final quarter-final fixture.